Hello friends, this is Professor Umesh Tilke and you are watching me on my YouTube channel Made Easy Solutions. Friends, in previous lecture we have seen three types of number system conversions, that is binary to decimal number conversion, octal to decimal number conversion and hexadecimal to decimal number conversion. Today we will try to learn next three conversions. So let's move towards our today's lecture. So friends, we will continue our topic conversion between bases part 2. Before this video lecture we have seen three types of number system conversion in part first, that were binary to decimal conversion, octal to decimal conversion and hexadecimal to decimal conversion. Today we will learn the next three conversions, that are decimal to binary conversion, decimal to octal conversion and decimal to hexadecimal conversion. So let's move forward. So this we have already seen in previous video lecture, that is in part 1, that we have total 12 possible number system conversions because we have total 4 number of number systems. So in previous lecture we have seen 3 conversions and now in this lecture we are going to learn the next 3 conversions. Remaining 6 conversions will be covered in next parts. So today we are going to learn the next 3 conversions, that are decimal to binary conversion, decimal to octal conversion and decimal to hexadecimal conversion. Now the reason behind covering these 3 conversions in this video lecture will be clear to you at the end of this video. So keep watching. Now in this conversion also we have to follow a certain procedure. What we have to do, divide the decimal number by the base of a number system in which it is to be converted. That means here we have to divide the number, then divide the quotient got in previous division and write down the remainder. Continue the division until we get 0 as a quotient. The remainders in reverse order is converted number into the desired base. That means the number which we want to convert into other base must be divided by the base of the number system in which we need to convert it. For example, if we want to convert decimal number into binary, then the base of the required number system is 2. So divide the given decimal number by 2. Then continue the division and write down the remainders until we get the quotient 0. So let's move towards our example, that is our practical session. See here, the same number which we got in the previous video, that is 205 into decimal, I have considered over here. In the previous video we have seen binary, octal and hexadecimal to decimal conversions. So in that video I have selected such numbers that when they were converted into decimal we got the same answer 205. So now here I have considered the same number 205 and we are trying to convert the number into binary, octal and hexadecimal. So the number we had considered in the previous video we must get in this video as the answer. So let's check. I can show you. See here, the number I had considered 11001101 into binary to convert it into decimal. So I got 205 in decimal of this number. So let's check whether we have got the same number as answer in our today's topic. See here, we have got the same number 11001101. So let's learn how to find the number. What we have to do over here, we have to divide the number given in decimal by the base of the number system in which it is needed to be converted. So here we are converting the given decimal number into binary. So base of binary is 2. So we are converting the given decimal number by 2 and we are continuing the division until we are getting 0 as a quotient. So see over here, 2 divides 205. What we will get? 102 as a quotient and 1 is remainder. So how we divide? We find such a number which is maximum but less than the dividend. So here 204 is the number which is maximum in a table of 2 but less than 205. So the quotient will be 102 here. See here, 2 2s are 4, 2 0s are 0 and 2 1s are 2. So we get 204 and then we subtract 204 from 205. So we will get 1 as a remainder and 102 as a quotient. I can show you the conventional method of division process. Here I have shown conventional division process for our first division operation, that is 205 divided by 2. So here 2 is the divisor and 205 is the dividend. So here we finds a number in table of 2 which is just less than or equal to dividends MSD, most significant digit. We start division with most significant digit. Here 2 is the most significant digit. So 2 ones are 2. So here we get 1 as a quotient. Then we subtract this number from the MSD of the dividend. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Then we consider the next digit. So this is the next digit. So now 0 0 is there. So we cannot divide 0 0. So we consider 0 as a quotient. And then we consider the last digit here. So 005 divided by 2. So we find again a maximum number in a table of 2 which is just less than this dividend digit, that is 5. So we get 4 as the number. So 2 2s are 4. Now we subtract this 4 from this dividend digit. So 5 minus 4 is 1. Now again, as 1 is less than 2, we cannot divide this one. So 1 we consider as a remainder and we get 102 as a quotient. So this is our conventional division process. You can use this conventional division process for all the division steps over here, or you can use the calculator also. I can show you the use of calculator as well. So here just go to calculator. Now here 205 is our dividend and divide it by 2. So here 102 is our quotient and 0.5 is our actually the remainder which is in fractional form. So to get the remainder in integer part, just multiply this fraction by 2, answer, and multiply the fraction of a remainder by 2. So this we get as a remainder. So you can use a calculator as well to find quotients and remainder for every division step. Now we continue this quotient in next step by the base again. So 2 1s are 2 and 2 5s are 10. So we get total 102. So if we subtract 102 from this dividend 102, we get remainder as a 0 and we got 51 as a quotient. So continue the process until we get 0 as a quotient. So again divide this 51 by 2. So we get 25 2s are 50. So when we subtract 50 from 51, we get 1 as a remainder and 25 as a quotient. Now again divide this 25 by 2. So 12 2s are 24. So 24 subtracted from 25 will get 1 as a remainder over here and 12 as a quotient. Divide this 12 again. To 2 6s are 12. So 12 subtracted by 12 we get as a 0 as a remainder and 6 as a quotient. Now divide this 6 again by 2. So 2 3s are 6. 6 subtracted by 6 we get 0 as a remainder and 3 as a quotient. Now divide this 3 by 2 again. So 2 1s are 2. 2 subtracted by 1 we get 1 as a remainder and 1 as a quotient. Now 1 is less than 2, so it cannot be divided. So we got 0 as a quotient over here. So 0 as a quotient and 2 0 by 2 zeros are 0. So 0 subtracted by 1 we get 1 as a remainder over here and 0 as a quotient. So stop here because we have got the 0 as a quotient. Now consider the remainders in reverse order. So I have considered in reverse order. So 1 1 0 0, 1 1 0 0, 1 1 0 1, 1 1 0 1 is the binary equivalent of this decimal number 205. Now here in this video also we have considered total 6 examples. Among that one we have already seen, and in every example you will going to learn new things. So what new thing you will going to learn in next example? Let's see. Here we will try to convert the same decimal number into octal. So here the required number is in octal number system. So base is 8. So divide this given number by the base 8. So I have divided by 8 over here and continue the division process until we get quotient as a 0. So let's try. See here, we have to find such a quotient that when we multiply the base by that quotient, we get the maximum number in the table of 8 which is less than 205. So 25 8s are 200. So when 200 is subtracted by 205, we get 5 as a remainder and 25 as a quotient. So we have got quotient non-zero, so continue the division process over here. So divide this 25 by 8 again. Now find such a quotient that when the quotient is multiplied by the base, we get maximum number in the table of 8 which is less than 25. So 8 3s are 24. 24 subtracted, we got remainder as a 1 and 3 as a quotient. So we have got non-zero quotient, so continue the process. So 3 divided by 8. Now here 3 is less than 8, so we cannot divide it. So we take quotient as a 0. So 8 zeros are 0. 0 subtracted by 3, we got 3 as a remainder over here. And we got 0 as a quotient over here. So stop the procedure. Now consider the remainders in reverse order. See, the arrow shows you the reverse order. So 315 is the octal equivalent of the given 205 decimal number. Let's check what we had considered in the previous video. See here, we had converted 315 which was in octal into decimal. We got the answer 205 in decimal. Now here we had converted 205 into octal, so we have got the same number. Aimfully I have taken these numbers so that you can verify the conversion methods, that the conversion methods are correct one. Now let's move toward our next example. The same number I am converting over here into hexadecimal. So divide this number by the base 16 until we get quotient as a 0. So I have considered 16 as a divisor over here and 205 as a dividend over here. Now let's find out such a quotient that when multiplied by the base, we get maximum number which is in the table of 16 which is less than 205. So 16 12s are 192. So 192 is less than 205. If we consider 13 as a quotient over here, we get 206. 16 13s are 206. So 206 is not less than 205. So it is not acceptable. We have to find such a number which is less than 205 but maximum in the table of the base. So here we have considered 12 as a quotient. When multiplied by 16, we get maximum number in the table which is less than 205. So 16 multiplied by 12, we get 192. So when 192 is subtracted by 205, we get 13 as a remainder, and the hexadecimal equivalent of 13 is D. Now we have got the non-zero quotient. So now here 12 is less than 16, so we cannot divide 12 by 16. So we have to consider 0 as a quotient over here. So 16 zeros are 0, 0 subtracted by 12, we get 12 as a remainder, and the hexadecimal equivalent of 12 is C. So I have considered C over here. Now consider this remainder in reverse order. This arrow shows you the reverse order. So CD in hexadecimal is equal to 205 in decimal. Same example we had considered in the previous video. You can see over here. CD in hexadecimal we had converted into decimal and we got the answer 205 over here. Now here in this video we are converting this 205 into hexadecimal. So we must got this answer, and we have got the same answer over here. Now in the next three examples we will learn how to convert the decimal numbers with fractional part into the other bases, that is binary, octal and hexadecimal. So now the same number, if you remember in the previous video we had selected such a binary number that when converted into decimal we got this number. I can show you the PPT of the last video lecture. over here. In example 4, we had considered this binary number and its decimal equivalent we got this number which we have considered in our today's lecture, 2619.9375. In octal also we had selected such a number that we got the same decimal equivalent. So now here in example 5, when we will see, when we will convert this number into octal, we must get this answer. So here we had considered A3B.F6 hexadecimal to convert into decimal. So we are converting this decimal into different bases in this lecture now. So our hexadecimal equivalent must be this one in example 6. So let's continue. So see here, now here what I have done, I have divided the integer part by the base. You can see over here, divisor, dividend and remainder. So this integer part 2619 is divided by 2 until we got the quotient 0, and the fractional part is multiplied by the base. See here, multiplier, multiplicand, product. And what we have done, we have considered the integer part of the product here, integer of the product 1, and the remaining fractional part we have considered in the next multiplication. The remaining fractional part of a first product is multiplied by 2 again, and we have considered the integer part of the product again, and the remaining fractional part is again considered in the next multiplication. This we have done until we get 0 as a multiplicand. If we do not get 0 as a multiplicand, then we continue this process up to 5 steps, but here we got the multiplicand as 0 in 5th step. So what we have to do over here, while converting fractional part of decimal number into the required base, we have to multiply the fractional part by its base, and we have to consider the integer part of the product, and remaining fractional part of the we keep on multiplying until we get the multiplicand as a 0. So here now this process we have already seen in previous examples, that we have to find such a quotient when multiplied by the base we get maximum number of the table of the base which is less than the dividend, and then we subtract the product from the dividend to consider the remainder. So here 13,309 multiplied by 2 we get 2,618. So when this 2,618 subtracted by 2,619 we get 1 as a remainder. Now we again divide this quotient from a previous operation by the base until we get quotient as 0. So here we have find out such a quotient that when multiplied by 2 we get maximum number from the table which is less than 1,309. So when 654 multiplied by 2 we get 1,308. So when 1,308 is subtracted by 1,309 we get 1 as a remainder. So we have continued the process until we got quotient as a 0, and then we have considered the remainder in reverse order. Now come to the fractional part. We have seen the fractional part is multiplied by the base, and we consider integer from the product. Here 1.875 is the product, so 1 is the integer part, so we have considered over here, and the remaining fractional part, that is 0.875, is considered in the next multiplication. The remaining fractional part is multiplied by 2 again to get the product. Considered 1 as an integer here over here, and remaining fractional part, that is 0.75, is multiplied by 2 again. This we follows until we get multiplicand as a 0 or maximum up to 5 steps. Now consider the integers in forward direction. Here in division operation, or when we convert integer into binary, we consider the remainders in reverse order, and when we convert the fractional part into binary we consider the integers in forward direction. So the given decimal number is converted into binary number over here. See here, 1010, 1010, then 0011, 0011, 1011, 1011, and then 1111, 111. So this is how we convert decimal number into binary. Now in next example we will see how to convert decimal number into octal number. See over here, I have considered the same number and followed the same procedure, that when we convert the integer part of a decimal number into given base, we divide the integer part of a decimal number by the base of required numbers and consider the remainders in reverse order. And when we convert the fractional part of a decimal number into the required base, we multiply the fractional part of the decimal number by the base of required number system. So here I have divided this integer part by base 8 and continued the division until I got the quotient as a 0. So let's see, let's verify whether we have got the remainders correct or not. 327 is the quotient. When multiplied by 8 we got 2616 is the product. When 2616 is subtracted by 2619 we got 3 as a remainder. You can find out by calculator also. Now divide this to 327 by 8. So we got 40 as a quotient over here and 7 as a remainder over here. When we divide 40 by 8 we get 5 as a quotient and 0 as a remainder. When we divide 5 by 8 we get 0 as a quotient and 5 as a remainder. So 5073 is the integer part of the given number system. Sorry, here the base I used is wrong. So let's change the base. We are converting the number into octal number. So we have converted the integer part of decimal number into integer part of octal number 5073. Now let's convert fractional part of decimal number into octal number. So multiply this fractional part by the base of octal number system, that is 8. So we are going to multiply this fractional part by 8. So 8 multiplied by this fractional part we get 7.5 is a product. So consider integer part over here. So 7 I have considered and the remaining fractional part we are multiplying by 8 again. So 8 multiplied by 0.5 is equal to 4.0. So here we got 4 as integer part and 0 as a remaining part. So 0 as a multiplicand over here. So we have to stop over here. Consider this integer in a forward direction. Remember, when we convert integer part of a decimal number into other bases, we consider remainder in reverse order, and when we consider fractional part of a decimal number into other base, we consider integers of the product in forward order. So 74 is the converted fractional part. So this is how 2619.9375 decimal is equal to 5073.74 octal. This is the same number we have got which we have considered in the previous video. So now in final example we will convert this given decimal number into hexadecimal. So in example 6 we have considered the same decimal number and we are going to convert the decimal number into hexadecimal number system. So what we have done, we have divided this integer part by the base of the required number system, that is 16, and we have continued the division process until we got the quotient as a 0 over here. See here, 163 multiplied by 16 we got 2608. So when 2608 is subtracted by 2619 we got 11 as a remainder, and we have considered the hexadecimal equivalent of this 11, that is B. Now divide this 163 by 16 again. So we have found such a quotient that when multiplied by 16 we got maximum number in a table of 16 which is less than 163. So 16 multiplied by 10 is 160. So 160 is subtracted by 163, we got 3 as a remainder, and hexadecimal equivalent of 3 is 3. Now again divide this 10 by 16. So 10 is less than 16, so we cannot divide it. So 0 is the quotient over here. So 0 multiplied by 16 is 0. 0 subtracted by 10 we get 10 as a remainder over here, and hexadecimal equivalent of 10 is A. So A3B is the equivalent hexadecimal integer part of 2619 decimal integer part. Okay, A3. Now let's find out the hexadecimal equivalent of fractional part of decimal number. So what we do, we multiply the fractional part by the base of required number system. So here multiplier is 16 and we are multiplying this fractional part of decimal number. When we multiply this fractional part by 16 we get 15.0 as a product. So we consider integer part over here 15, its hexadecimal equivalent is F, and in next operation we consider the fractional part of the product which is 0. So we got 0 as a multiplicand over here, so we have to stop over here. So F is the equivalent hexadecimal of the fractional part of the decimal number system. So here we get A3B dot F as a hexadecimal equivalent of this given decimal equivalent number. So now come to the question I have asked you at the beginning of this video, that why these three conversions I have included in this part. So now the answer is very much clear to you, that these three conversions follows the same procedure. Which procedure? Divide and multiply. What divide? Divide the integer part of a decimal number by the base of required number system to get its equivalent integer part into the required number system, and we multiply the fractional part of a decimal number system by the base of required number system to get its equivalent in the required number system. And what we do, we continue the division until we get quotient as a 0, and we continue the multiplication until we get the multiplicand as a 0. So this is what our conclusion, that I have already told you just minute before, that we divide the integer part of decimal number by the base of the number system in which we need to convert the decimal number, and continue the division until we get quotient as a 0. We consider the remainders in reverse order. While considering the fractional part of a decimal number, we multiply the fractional part of decimal number system by the base of number system in which the number is to be converted, and consider integer part of the products in forward order, and continue the multiplication until we get multiplicand as a 0. So I hope the conversion of decimal number system into other bases is very much clear to you. In next video we will see the remaining conversions. Press like button if you have liked the video, share it among your friends, subscribe my channel Made Easy Solution, and press the bell icon to get notification of latest videos. Thank you.